Good morning. Good morning. There's that little curl on the little furrow right in the middle of her forehead. There we go. I don't know what to do with it. That's fine. Hey, Judy, just nice to see you. Good morning. It has been a few days, hasn't it? Yeah, I just realized I have a giant smudge on my glasses, so pardon me. Good morning, Kathy in Ginger Spice. Damn it, Donna. Bianca. Patty, nice to see you. On fire for you. Well, I love it that people are watching the schedule on the Destination Decluttered secret page. There we go. And anybody else, Jennifer, I'm Sam, Martucci, a lot of people showing up. I won't be able to name all the names, but hello to everybody. Manatee Mermaid. This is not like this is not like Romper Room, so please do not feel sad if I don't say your name. They come in a flurry, and sometimes they don't show me all of them, which is kind of random. But anyhow, alrighty, I just literally flipped my notebook over, my workbook, to see what today's schedule looks like for my friend. And there we go. Kara, nice to see you. I hope your kitty's doing okay. That's a bummer that your little kid, those fur babies, they get you, huh? So I hope things are okay in your house that way. So, TikTok Live, 9 a.m., Monday, March 23rd. You guys, March is marching along, huh? If you're interested in the weather where I am, it's gloomy. It looks like it has rained, maybe is raining, it may well rain, which is kind of a bummer. I just got back from some sunshine day, as the Brady Bunch would say, a couple of days away. And it was nice yesterday. It was gorgeous here yesterday, unseasonably. But you know what? It isn't April showers and May flowers. It's March. Out in like a lion, out like a lamb. Maybe this is the lamb portion of the show. I don't know. I mean, I will say this. This is my brain talking to myself as well as you. I guess better rain than snow. So there's that. I mean, the world's good. That weather's going to weather. It's going to be, how do I feel about it? So anyhow, nice to be back for a day. Then I head out tomorrow, and I won't be doing a live, at least officially, until next Monday. So you've got me here on TikTok for an hour. And by the way, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. My coaching is called Destination Decluttered. So if you are struggling, if you're stressed out, if you're dreading decluttering your home, I'm here to walk you through that scary discomfort. Getting used to being discomfortable, uncomfortable is something that is part of, growing up, even at our age. So I'm here to help, not to hurt. But I'm here on TikTok right now for about 56 minutes. So let's use our time together in a good way. Now, I think that may look different from everybody else, but while I'm here, I can be here simply as a time, a block of time, a chunk of time from 9 to 10 in the morning on Eastern Coast, right? So there's like, okay, during this chunk of time, I can be here as a distraction, maybe to distract you from your thoughts about what decluttering is, and you're just kind of puttering around with me in the background. Now, one of the things I don't want to distract you from, though, the thoughts as far as, is figuring out why you aren't so thrilled. I mean, not that decluttering is like something totally exciting, and then if you're not excited about it, there's like, what's up with that? What's up with that? But it's more like there could be something you could learn about yourself based on your reaction to decluttering. Now, this thing you learn, you may already know. It could just be a reminder, or it could be an insight that says, I never made that connection up here as to why I, don't do the dishes every night, or I, struggle with putting things in a donation bag, or I struggle with putting the donation bag in the car, or I struggle with putting the donation bag that's in the car into the donation bin. Yeah. On fire. Yeah. Okay. So here I am. Hey, good morning, Gina. All right. On Fire says, Q, struggling with decluttering with everything with my mom's house that just passed a few months back. Okay. So a couple of things to just help you kind of frame what you're doing. Okay. What I would say is this. One is the way I coach, I look at things as 3 levels of clutter. There's kind of like the shallow end of the pool and they get into the deep end of the pool. Items that were once owned by somebody you knew and even more so you loved or had a relationship with, those things are what I call sentimental clutter. They are the deepest of the deep, okay? So not only are you dealing with the most challenging layer of clutter for everybody, so you're not alone on Fire for you, okay? But the other thing says, the word I see, a couple of things that give me some context is like, she just passed a few months back. Now, you still are probably in some layer of grief. So your grief to me is sometimes like a cut that you need to heal. You know, you need to give it time and it just needs to heal, right? So that to me is you may be trying to declutter while you are still in pain. Now, I'm not saying the pain disappears completely, but it may be too soon. So just think of that. But also, decluttering everything. The word everything to me is like a keyword. It's like it lights up. I don't want to say a trigger word, but whenever anybody uses the word everything, always, nothing, forever, like these kind of dramatic words or words that indicate a large quantity of something. I have to do everything. That one word can either trigger overwhelm or reveal overwhelm that's existing inside your nervous system, okay? So what I offer to you is, first of all, depending upon the situation, do you have to declutter right now? Now, there may be external forces. We got to, sell the house, whatever. So do you need to do it right now? If not, you may benefit from waiting a bit, allowing yourself to heal. Do not wait too long and then just have it build up in your head as something you can't do, but allowing yourself to heal. The other thing would be, too, is to, as I like to say, to kind of chunk it down, but to remind yourself to calm down your nervous system. Do some, I don't want to say breath work. I don't even know what breath work is. What I will say is breathing down, slowing down, regulating the physical aspect of overwhelm, as well as the thoughts and words. I don't have to do all of this right now. The opposite of doing all, the benefit, the good thing would be to do some. So think about that as far as looking at what you just wrote to me and write it down to yourself, and where are some keys that you could get yourself started. I will say that there will be some things once you start with the sentimental clutter, after you get over that initial fear of everything in this house is going to make me cry or make me feel a feeling, you will realize that not everything in that house is as powerful as the next thing. Some leftover napkins from McDonald's that is in your mom's house is going to be different from love letters that were written to her in high school. Okay? But take care of yourself while you're doing this, because you're doing it for yourself. Do not put yourself in any more pain. But also, don't be so afraid to start that your fear of starting makes you avoid it even longer. Okay? So, I hope that helps. If not, put a follow-up in. T-Site. If I haven't used it, okay, wait, I moved into a 1-bedroom tiny apartment. Almost done with storage, sold some stuff, but everything is not coming. Love it. If I haven't used it, only the things I was going to use are repurposed. I took pictures and then, I love the taking of the pictures. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay? Good stuff for you. Yes, taking pictures can also be a lovely visual substitute for the actual item itself. So a good kind of way of being efficient about that. All right, Patty is saying, hard practicing patience with others while decluttering, and they have old habits of move and hide. Instead of deciding to keep or get rid of and find a proper home, even if told where the new home is. Yes, so notice Notice, Patty, you are further along in the road trip of decluttering than the others that you have. You may have used to be a move and hide type of person yourself, but now that you're not, you notice it in other people. So, having patience with them because they're at a point that you used to be. Having patience and saying they may be struggling with making decisions like I used to struggle in the past. You may be able to help them through this, but if you are impatient, that may not lend to the learning experience. It may shut them down and it may cause some friction. So be patient with them as they learned what you now see that you didn't see in yourself earlier. But notice where your energy is. When you are not feeling good, that is going to be not the best time to train somebody else or things like that. I have had to wait. I'm a lot more of the decision making. My husband, it has been taking years for him to make some decisions, but he's there. He's getting it. Okay. So I hope that helps. I'm just trying to get to everybody right off the bat. All right. Has to be done right now. Okay, sense of urgency. Alrighty, good stuff. You're making things. Okay, on fire. Gonna move into the house with my fiance. He wants to get rid of lots of stuff. I'm not ready. Okay, this is when, okay, there's a lot of stuff here. What I would say is this, it's your mom, it's your nervous system, it's you working at your pace. It's like you're the driver in that decision. He doesn't have the sentimental. See, the thing is with sentimental stuff, it tells you stories. Other people sometimes can't hear the stories, or maybe they're the kind that don't really care about stories, but especially if you're not associated with the person. Work at your own pace, okay? Because if you try to speed up this process to a speed that's uncomfortable for you, you may do things you regret, okay? And maybe you're not stuck, maybe you're just not ready yet. But you can get ready. But even so, when you are moving in, moving at a pace that works for you, even if that seems slower than your fiance. Notice that Patty is also wanting her people she's associated with to move at a quicker pace than they are ready to. So honor that people are where they are, but honor that with yourself too. And if somebody's trying to rush you into something, it is okay for you to put up your traffic cop, your stop sign hand and say, whoa, no, I'm not ready yet. I will work on getting ready, but don't rush me, like Taylor Dayne would say, okay? Yeah. All righty. So Gina, you're lucky that your mom didn't have clutter. Awesome. Okay, so here we go. Kathy Hicks, what is my first step in getting rid of things? Telling yourself it's safe to let it go. Feeling that it's okay to let it go. The feeling of nothing bad is going to happen to me if I let this item go. So getting yourself feeling comfortable with the process. Okay? Now, that can be having a conversation with yourself, having practice, experiencing the lack of something bad happening when you let go of things. So that's a thing. But I would say also too, that's like kind of the deeper work. That's why I'm a decluttering life coach. But I will say this, start with the simple stuff. Practice the act of decluttering with easy things. So again, I was talking about sentimental items moments ago. That's the third in the list here. The first one is surface clutter. Surface stored sentimental. Okay? So start with surface clutter. You know, I mentioned earlier when I was imagining surface things that could be in the home of somebody whose mom has passed. Like, you might be more easily able to, again, practice decluttering with stuff like leftover napkins from McDonald's versus sentimental stuff. Sentimental stuff, when you come across it, you can put it aside temporarily. Who knows how long the temporary would be, but practice in the shallow end. It's like swimming. You hear me? Swimming. It's like swimming. It's like swimming. So when you learn how to do anything, start with the simple stuff. Start in the beginner section. Okay? Yeah. Okay. All sorts of things here. Man, I'm going to try to keep up with you guys. Okay. I got that going. We have this. AI summary. Okay, all sorts of things. Yeah, so anything, I don't see the context. Patty's saying they haven't gotten in the car yet. Anybody right now, one of the things you can do, and if you haven't, just question yourself, not with judgment, but with curiosity. Okay, I made these bags for donations. Why aren't they in the car yet? The answer can be like, I don't know. Put them in the car. I mean, if it's raining out, you might want to wait, but do the next right thing. What's the next step? Yeah. Alrighty. Oh, that's a good idea. Adrian is saying, take pictures of every item you love, even keep. Because if you have accidents that broke it, and pictures can help. Okay. Oh, Kara, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I remember you talking about your friend's dad, and you were helping with the garden. I'm so sorry he passed. Please, I know it may not mean much that some random woman from the internet sends my love, but please let your BFF know that my heart goes out to her and to you and to that family. And if there's anything that I do here that can help you guys go through the process of decluttering, know that I'm here for you, okay? Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So, Patty. Yep. Patty is saying some of the sentimental things from my mom's I wasn't ready to go through. I put in a box with a date for later. Yeah, what a great, making a date with yourself. Yeah. Yeah, Kelly, and notice, sometimes we're afraid of the worst thing that could happen. I say go there. Like, what is the worst thing that could happen? Kelly is telling herself, I tell myself the worst thing that could happen is that I don't have it and then I can repurchase the item. So that helps with surface and stored. Sentimental takes longer because you can't go replace, sometimes you can't go replace the item, or you could replace the item but not the sentimentality. So notice already that decluttering is more than just making it look good for Martha Stewart coming to your front door. It's not as easy as, oh, just get rid of it. Oh, all you need to do is get rid of all the stuff. Like, that kind of tough love. That tough love to me can make it more difficult than being curious and patient and loving and kind to yourself when you're going through it, And so be patient. Don't be impatient. Notice the difference. If we have a line here, okay, going down the middle, you've got the one hand and then you've got the lovely on the other hand, you've got the opposite. So if you are feeling frustrated, how does that feel? Are you all tensed up in your body? Do the opposite. It's the brand new dance. Do the opposite. If you're all tense, actively, consciously relax your muscles. Yeah. If you're feeling grief, like Melaman H is saying, do you have any helpful advice for getting through the pain of losing a parent? Grieve. Allow yourself to feel the feelings. Now, I am not a grief counselor in any way. I'm just another fellow human on this planet who's gone through grief. Allow yourself to feel the feelings. Allow yourself to cry and scream and kick and whatever you need to do. I mean, don't hurt anybody or yourself. Be patient with yourself. It's like a cut. It's like a cut that you would, in order to heal, don't pick at it. Allow it to heal, but also get the gunk out. Like, don't let it get infected. Okay? But give yourself time. In losing, I mean, please, maybe grief counseling might be a thing. Okay? The pain of losing a parent, I know I've read somewhere that is one of the number one most difficult things for a human to deal with, is the death of somebody very close to you, a parent, a child, a loved one, a mate. So you're gonna be grieving. Know that, be patient, and know that the grief will lessen. The grief will lessen. It will. It may take a while. It probably will take a while. Don't rush it. Again, Taylor Dane and I, don't rush me. Okay? Yeah. So, but be patient with yourself and don't try to rush yourself through the process. But also do not hang out there too long. I stayed in grief and fear in my 20s far too long, and it wasn't helpful. Okay? So take care of yourself. Give yourself what you need, you know? And processing grief in a way that will make you feel better is a good thing to work through. Okay? But my heart goes out to you, parent, you know. It's a tough thing. But humans, we as humans, feel feelings. We have a rainbow of feelings. All, nothing, and all in between. And so I offer to you, don't allow yourself to feel the feelings. Feelings is part of being human. Because think of the things that don't feel feelings. Robots or dead people or zombies. So if you're feeling feelings, it is an indication that you're alive. Okay? Yeah. Aw. Yeah, amazing man. People, you know, we're all going to die at some point. How can we make that easier on somebody else? You know how we can do that, you guys? Is by not leaving so much crap for them to deal with, you know, stuff-wise, okay? Now, I love it. On Fire saying, thank you, showing up and helping us. This is what I do. I do one-on-one coaching with one-on-one clients. I do TikTok lives. I have a YouTube live coming up. Where is it? In just a couple hours. And then this is the one time this week. I hope the people on the Pen Pal Club have gotten together without me. I did see somebody was setting up a Zoom chat. I hope people signed up. Okay. Yeah, does it serve me? Does it serve me? Is it helping make my life easier? You know? So yeah. There we go. Mary says, I lost my mom when I was 16. I'm now 60 and still grieve. Now that makes me think of, what's his name? No, that's the song that gets me. Oh, Mr. Bojangles. His dog up and died. Oh my God, I'm going to be crying here, people. But you will grieve, but I bet you're grieving slightly differently than you did when you were 16. Time can help heal the wounds, but you will always have, you know, again, it's like a cut. You'll always have a scar to remind you. You'll always have something there to remind me. Okay? So I say to you, decluttering, I show up because I know that clutter can make people struggle in life. So I show up to help you through that portion of life because it also represents grief, it represents change, it represents the unknown, it represents unfulfilled dreams sometimes. Like clutter is more than just a bunch of random stuff. Even if it's a bunch of random stuff, there's a story behind how it got into your house and why you are struggling to remove it from your life. And learning about yourself and what is motivating yourself to hang on to something that part of you says, I don't want it, but the part of you that says, yes, you do, tends to be slightly stronger in this tug of war game, then let's hang out there and discover what is the strong pull. And it's okay. I do this a lot. I am very comfortable with this. I also know when when I am out of my depth, and I will immediately put on the brakes and say, somebody else is required here. But I am really here to help you walk through your own thoughts and feelings and actions. Thoughts, feelings, actions, head, heart, hand. Because if you're feeling and thinking something, it can either help you do something or make it more difficult to do something. Notice there's opposites. I like to also keep things really simple, so I tend to use simple words, simple stories, simple songs. I like to have fun while I'm doing stuff. I mean, it is serious stuff, but you can have fun. You can have fun doing some tough stuff. I'm smiling because I literally heard a song for the first time in my life on Friday night, I think. Always laugh at funerals, always cry at weddings. Yeah. Have you ever cried at a wedding? Have you ever laughed at a funeral? Or cracked up during, started giggling about something in the midst of grief? The humans, we feel all the feels. Yeah. And Les is saying, yes, that is great advice. If you struggle to do this for yourself, do it for somebody else. Do it for the people that are going to be, who do you imagine? Let's do this. Let's play the game of, I've died and who's going to clean out my house? I have passed away, who is going to be stuck with the job of emptying my house? Now, I don't have kids. I have a husband. So let's say, and he's going to be around, let's say we both, like the house doesn't have either of us in it. So I am betting that it's going to be a combination of friends and family. Now, I am going to be up in heaven. This is how I do it. I'm going to be looking down from my cloud at my friends and my family who are still here on the earth, and they're going to be grieving my loss. I know they are. Trust me. There will be grief when I pass. Same thing when you. The last thing I want to do is make their grief even more difficult by also overwhelming them with not knowing what to do with all the stuff I left them. What's your plan? What's your plan to ease the grief of the people that you love? And you can't be there then because you're dead. So what can you do before you die to ease their grief when the inevitable happens? This is what I'm doing. First of all, I'm learning how to declutter in a way that I never was taught by my parents. You don't learn it in school. You pick it up on the streets. I am not just learning, I am doing. I'm not just learning it, but I am processing, going through the process. I have decluttered more surface level things than ever before. I am also reaping the benefits right now while I'm still alive and they're still alive. The relief I feel with not having those things in my life is so much better than the heaviness I felt with those items in my house. So it is a yes and. Yes, I am doing this so my friends and family won't have to be overwhelmed with cleaning out my house so they can sell it and split the profits or whatever. But yes, I am doing this for them then, but I'm doing it for me now because I'm still alive and I live in this home. And I am enjoying having more space to do things or just to have the space, to make it easier to clean. So I'm not tripping over stuff and bumping into tables and breaking a rib. I'm enjoying seeing the things that I truly love, not being surrounded by a bunch of junk. Really letting the things that represent me and the life that I have now, and a bit of the life I had then, and the life that I want for the future, having those things less cluttered, more in focus. Yeah. Now, Purely Stephanie says, and I'll share you this with you. So Purely Stephanie, I love that you have some concert memorabilia. I told my daughter to sell it when I pass. Now, hear me out. I come from a family of collectors. My dad collected a bunch of stuff. Things that were pricey when he bought them, or maybe it was just, things he inherited. Collectibles change value in time. What I would recommend, Purely Stephanie, is not necessarily, I'm not going to freak you out by saying sell it now, but what I'm saying is it might be eye-opening for you, Stephanie, to see what somebody might buy that, how much money they might offer for it now. Because what I will say is this, my dad bought books. I'm a book family. And my dad had fun collecting books and reading books when he was alive. Some of these books cost hundreds of dollars a piece because at the time there weren't a lot, whatever. So my dad passed, almost 16 years ago. We waited a long time to even touch his books because of grief, because of fear, because of whatever. But we were leaving some of those things with the incorrect thought of these things are going to be worth the money that he paid or more. Okay? And what I will tell you is the bottom dropped out of that market like nobody. He paid this much. There were books that I'm sure my dad paid tens, 20s, hundreds of dollars worth that we could not even give away. No, never mind selling it for pennies on the dollar. We couldn't even give it away. So I say this to everybody, okay? If you are saving something, thinking that it's going to be, that it's worth money now, and the inference is it's going to be worth more money later, or even the same amount of money. Do a reality check now. You may be on track. It may be, oh, you bought gold and it's shooting through the ceiling. Or you bought Beanie Babies. Wah, wah. Okay? So I say this to you. Check on that now so you can make an alternate plan. If we had known my dad's books would not have been worth this much, 10, let's say it was, 12 years since he passed, may have felt more comfortable. But we're also a non-communicative family, so we didn't talk about that stuff. So I say, look up your stuff now on the internet. Find out what people are worth, is it now, and talk to the people who sell this stuff. Where do you expect the market to go? Is it going up or is it going down? So that you can make a decision about how much money that person's going to get at the end. The money may not be it, but just knowing that I'm going to enjoy that gold record from Neil Sedaka on my wall when I live, but when I go, it's going to be worth like a penny. Okay? So I love this. Yay, Therapy Gal Sue, my Gen X wise daughter. Gen X and wise right here, and a daughter, told me she doesn't want to sell or have my collectibles, and I must honor that. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, please honor when somebody says thank you but no, or they say no, I don't want that. Don't push past their no. No means no. So yay for you noticing that. Okay. Now books, Ruth Ann and On Fire. I have so many medical books. Okay, so a couple of things, medical books. I'll start with those ones. I remember I still have some of my photography books from college. I thought about that the other day because I have a friend who does collage art, and I was like, oh, I should have given them to him. Think of what are your reasons for saving those medical books, okay? And I would write down those reasons. One of the reasons may be they cost me a lot of money. Another reason may be I may need to refer back to them someday. Two different thoughts, two different trains of, investigation. So I would say if one of your reasons is, why did I save this reference book? Because I may need to look up something, fair enough. So just ask yourself, without judgment and with genuine curiosity, okay, when is the last time I actually looked up something in that book? Not necessarily all of the books. Again, notice all is a book that can trigger a word that can trigger overwhelm. That one book, chunk it down, as I like to say. That one book, when is the last time I opened that book to look in it? That may be enlightening. Oh, I thought I was going to use it when I saved it initially, but now, X many years later, I'm realizing I'm not. Perhaps it's time for me to donate it. Okay? Other books, same things. Why did I save this book that I already read? Well, because I spent money on it. It's probably a big thing. The other one is, I liked it. I may read it again. Okay, have you read it again? No, but it was a good book. Okay, if I read it and liked it, maybe I could share that story I liked with somebody else and give them the book or sell it. Okay? Sue says, I'm a closet stuffer. How do I get started with decluttering them? I would say this. Actually, this is a good time for me to do just a quick check, because knowing that this is my only TikTok live of the week, I want to remind the people who are on the Destination Decluttered group. Everybody's invited. You just need to join the mailing list on my page, and it's free. DestinationDecluttered.com is my website, okay? I want to remind you of the four stages to go through as you're preparing yourself to declutter. So before you even open up a closet door, Sue, what I would say is this. Everybody, write these down because you may forget them but between now and next Monday when I show up again. Number one is always going to be, how do I feel physically today? Physically. So this is what I say, and I put quotes, from the crown on down. From the crown on down, do a scan of how you're feeling physically. I'm doing it right now. I just got to the hips, go to the knees, down to the ankles, over to the toes. Anything that kind of lit up when I did that scan, and I do this with my hands when I do it. Anything that lit up red versus green, I would do something to address that. How do I feel well physically? The next one is, how do I feel in my nervous system? My nervous system, I don't even know where that is in my body. It kind of floats around. But notice how your nervous system, are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you afraid? Notice my body is coaching. It's saying overwhelmed, too much, afraid, fear, trying to protect myself. I clench, right? I'm shallow breathing. I'm in fight or flight. How's your nervous system? Calming down your nervous system to a level that's kind of nice and floaty versus all shook up or flatlining. So you calm down, you slow down, you sit down, you breathe down. Maybe you drink down some water. You shake down your muscles. You quiet down your environment. A lot of the word down can help you reset your nervous system so that you're feeling better physically and energetically. The third one is going to be write down. Notice I just said to somebody, write down your answers to your questions. Writing down also helps calm down your nervous system. And then the fourth one is going to be chunking down. What does chunking down mean? It means whatever you've written down or whatever you think that is too big, practice making the big small. Okay? So Sue, if you're a closet stuffer, what I would say is, first of all, make sure you're feeling okay. It doesn't have to be great. Okay, physically and nervous system-y. Before you even go in, write your destination. What do you want that closet to be? Before you even see what it is, what would you rather use that closet for? Write it down. And then start to aim for that. The other way of chunking things down too is going to be categories. So write down, what are 3 categories of things that might be in that one closet? Yes, you may have every single closet in your house may be stuffed, but chunking it down, you start with 1. And you practice this in one closet, and you get good at it, and then you go to the next, and the next closet will be easier because you've learned a system. Okay? Yeah? Yeah. So Gina is saying, my son just brought old cameras from a man whose mom just passed, who immediately was decluttering. Got them very cheap. Now he's reselling them way more in a vintage shop. Yes, that's how that works. I used to sell vintage stuff. There are people who don't want to deal with the stuff or the selling, so you give that stuff away so somebody else can benefit from it. Yeah. Now Rebel Yankee Girl says, I save what's important to me. Cool. I have a collection of books. I don't invest in them. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, but you know what, Gina? Think about this. You're saying to you, you are looking at that family because she says he saw the opportunity to sell and make money and the family just wanted it gone. So sad the family got rid of it immediately. I don't think that's sad at all. It could be sad, but it could be a really good thing. It could be that your son who got those things, that it was a relief to the family to just get rid of some of that stuff. Yeah, nobody else should care about your collection except for you. Okay? Do not expect, please, do not expect anybody else on the planet to care for your stuff as much as you do. Do not expect them, do not insist them, do not guilt them into it. Guilt is a lot of why many of us have struggled with letting go of things. And I say it can be a relief to the family for somebody to come in and be like, I'll take this, and this, and I'll give you this amount of money. Sure, just get it out of my face because there's a lot to deal with. And they're dealing with grief. So just know that your collection means the most to you, and then the next person you know, it drops off the charts. So Gina, your son did a great service to that family. He provided them with relief of thinking and processing and dealing with stuff that they don't care about, and yet it may feel very difficult to let go of items and to find out the right thing to do. So he provided them with relief, maybe monetarily, but also, yay, one less category we have to overwhelm our lives with. Because don't forget, for many people who go to clean out somebody's house, including yours, they also have their own stuff and their own lives going on. So they are going to be using their free time and their extra energy to empty out your house, which means that they don't have free time to do what they want in life or to be in their homes. Cleaning out the home of a loved one who's passed takes a lot of time and energy. So make it easy for them by getting rid of your own version of surface clutter. That will also make it easier on yourself while you're still living in the house. So it's a yes and. Yes, I'm doing this so the people I love will not be saddled, burdened with so much stuff. But it also does improve the quality of your life. When you like how your home looks, everywhere, including behind closet doors and in drawers and in basements and attics and garages and storage units. It benefits you to go through that stuff now. It benefits you to identify what are the really important things that you want to make sure that your family does not put in the dumpster, and have that conversation while you're still alive so they are not left wondering. I don't know. Is this from the family, or did she pick it up at the Goodwill? I don't know. Is it, have those conversations with your family now. Be very clear about it. I am very clear that I do not expect my nieces and nephews and friends, if anybody wants anything, genuinely wants something, please come and get it, come and get it, come and get it. The stuff that I really would want passed on, that I do not want thrown away, is going to be stuff that isn't really mine to begin with. I am the caretaker of our family tree and some family heirlooms that will fit into literally like, a tote, the kind that you put like, an easily carryable tote. So it will not overwhelm somebody else to then be the next generation to pass on the family tree. Other than that, everything else in this home, if they want it, they are welcome to take it. But if not, seriously, open up the doors and tell everybody to come in and just make it the easiest way that they can empty out the house. Okay? Because, and damn it, Donna says, the cost to keep a house running, right? Every time you have a house that needs to be cleaned out and you're paying the taxes and the electric and the heat and the water and all that, it can be a lot. But do it for them then, but do it for you now. Living in a decluttered home means you like how it looks, that you can easily find what you're looking for, easily use what you find, and easily put it away. And that sense of enjoyment, of visual enjoyment and ease of use can create a wonderful feeling in your home. And the world is chaotic enough outside the four walls of your house. Don't you want to feel good inside your house? And not just a superficial good, but a deep down, deep, dark, and delicious. Right? The stuff that you have that surround your house that make it easy for you to live will not mean as much to somebody else when you are gone. And if you are on the flip side, if you are the daughter or the son or the child or the caretaker of somebody who is older than you, and they have items in their house and they are not willing to declutter right now, honor that. It is not wise to force somebody to declutter. But I would have conversations with them about the things that are important to them. What are the truly important things here? But I'd be making a plan for myself. What am I going to do in this situation when that house is empty of the person who's living in it? What's going to be the easiest way for me to process all that and come up with a plan? All right? I hope this helps. Now, again, I'm a decluttering life coach, and I talk about this stuff all the time. I do a TikTok live. I usually do TikTok lives, have done in the past almost daily. But I also have a robust external life. And so I don't always show up every day on TikTok or YouTube. However, I do schedule when I show up. It's so funny. I can hear words. I can hear sounds in the other room. I think my husband's doing the dishes. Means I don't have to. Alrighty. I see a flag and a peace sign in a world that says, I need help. You got to be more specific, my dear. With what? Give me some details. I can't help with just helping, but I am showing up. Alrighty. Now, Anissa says, my grandmother left us a list of the smaller items, where they came from, and if there was a story. Right? I love that your grandmother did that. Have those conversations with people now. But also remember, you are the keeper of your stories. Somebody may not care. I mean, somebody said, I think it was Patty up thread, that you had like a set list from when The Who played. Like, nobody else will probably care about my ticket stub collection, you know, of the concerts that I went to. I may tell the stories, but I won't necessarily require that they keep it. Yeah. Now, it's Gin Spice. I love listening to you. It helps me take my anxiety down. I wonder what it is about that. I wonder what it is. Because if you can identify what hanging out with me helps you with your nervous system, you can also replicate it yourself. Talk to yourself the way that you hear me talk to you on a TikTok live. And it may be the tone of voice that I'm using, lack of judgment, in curiosity. It could be that it's a tone of calm and not rushing. It could be the kind words versus the mean words. Notice what is helping you feel better and write it down. Okay, so I love it. So people say you make it feel doable, because it is. You chunk it down, you can do this. It is not rocket science. You are compassionate yet instructive. Yes, so think about it. If what I am doing makes it feel doable to you, I empower you. How can you make it feel doable to you? How can you be compassionate to yourself? And maybe not instructive, because I have instruction I can instruct with. But you can be compassionate enough to yourself to say, I don't know how to do this. And then find a good instructor, a book, a recording. I mean, there are over 1,000 TikTok videos and YouTube videos on my YouTube channel that you can learn from when I'm not here. So please, please, I am not here to have a hierarchy. I am flattered and I love that what I'm doing to help seems to be working, but that's only the beginning. I want you to be able to do this while I am not here. I want you to be able to know how to make it feel doable to yourself so that you do the thing. I want you to stop being judgy to yourself and more compassionate. Notice where you're judgy, write those judgy words down, then cross them out and replace them with compassionate words. It will be an eye-opening experience for you to realize how much your feelings and your words inside you steer your life in, like a car in the direction you want to go. And you not paying attention to it up until now has gotten you to where you are now. So the neat thing is right where we are now is where you start paying attention. You start to notice that you do have your hands on the steering wheel. You've been on autopilot running on these things in the background, kind of like an app on your phone. Now when you realize that, you can do something different. Yeah. So yay, Gina's noticed. So Gina, this is another thing that is cool about when we are able to get together is exchanging ideas that help you, that may help me. Gina says, I've noticed if I take a walk or a shower before I decide to tackle things, it makes me want to do it even more. Plus, I play good music. So everybody, taking a walk, taking a shower, playing some music, that may help you. A warm shower. I see what you're saying. Yes, I love a warm shower, Gina. How to find good instructions? Trust your gut. Trust your gut. Look for instructors. Look for the teachers. Look for people who are dealing with, if you're struggling with clutter, look for the people who are teaching about decluttering, and then listen to how they approach it. Everybody's got their own approach. This is mine. I like my approach. I do not respond to some other people's approaches. They may be too dramatic, mean, insistent, businesslike, boring, I don't know. Find the ones that you connect up with. That will make all the difference. That's why I show up the way I do. I consciously, if you look back on the very first videos I made from TikTok like 4 years ago, man, I had like my little cape on and I had lipstick and all this, and I was trying to be very professional. But the funny thing is that the helpers that really helped me were the ones that showed up in their humanity, in their humanness, who laughed at themselves, who told stories of where they had effed up in the past, and yet were able to get their shit together at a certain point. Those were the people I felt a connection to. And when you feel a connection to the way that somebody teaches, you will be more open to learn. So I say there are many people out there doing decluttering coaching or basically helping with whatever you need help with. The one that's going to help you the most is the one that you feel comfortable with. Your nervous system says, I can relate to this person. And if that's me, awesome. I'm honored. But I also am only here to help you learn how to do it yourself. Okay? I have no interest in building an empire. Okay? Or writing a book. Maybe if somebody wants to ghostwrite it for me, I'll entertain that notion. But a book can often just add to your clutter and not really help you declutter. Okay? So I am here like training wheels to help you learn something you don't know how to do and then help you practice it with your training wheels and then take the training wheels off and practice while I'm still here. Or I like to say it like a driving instructor. I'm here to help you until you get good at it. You practice your own. And then I'll always be there. You'll always hear my voice in your head and think of me kindly. But I'm here to help you learn something. If you want somebody to do it for you, there are people that do it. Yeah. There you go, Patty. I need to move on with the thought of good enough. Yes. And not perfection. It's hard sometimes because you probably have 50 plus years of conditioning, of perfection. But notice, you stop and you breathe. Breathing, you guys. Breathing. Sitting down. Focusing, paying attention to how your body and your brain are responding to a situation is a game changer. You may have ignored what you've been thinking and feeling for decades, so you have plenty of practice with that. But notice, Patty's like, stop, hammer time, and breathe. Breathing is free. Drinking water, thank goodness, is free here in the US, at least for the time being. Unclenching your muscles is something you can do. Writing down stuff is something you can do. But you have decades worth of habits built up in you. You have muscle memory that does things even when you don't want it to, when you're trying to learn something else. But you can learn a new way of doing things by practice. Showing up every day. Doing a little bit more of the stuff you want and a little bit less of what you don't is how you slowly shift from driving in a direction that you look or you're not psyched about to driving towards your destination decluttered. All right? I hope that helps. Now, a couple of things. Literally, we have 5 minutes left of this destination decluttered TikTok. Just for a kind of a heads up, it's 9:55 a.m. on the eastern part of the United States. It is Monday, March 23rd, I had to look. Monday, March 23rd, 2026, 9:55 a.m. All right? We have 5 more minutes left together. There is a Destination Decluttered YouTube live. Same type of thing, except it's filmed horizontally versus vertically. That happens in about an hour at 11 a.m. Eastern. If you want to tune in and continue this, go to Destination Decluttered on YouTube. It's pretty simple. If you want to know when the next time I show up is, and for the rest of the month, because not to freak you out, but to prepare you, the end of March is next week. The end of March is next week. Let me look at my calendar right here. Yeah, and the beginning of April is next week. Okay? So, if you want to know when I'm going to show up for the rest of March and for the beginning of April. Now, the April calendar is not up there yet, but there is a calendar. There is a schedule on destinationdecluttered.com. But I don't just put it out there so anybody can see it because I don't want to attract trolls. I attract good people. And so I say in order for you to get access to that schedule, to know when we all are meeting up, share your email address with me. Prove you're not a troll. Share your email address with me. You do that on my website, destinationdecluttered.com. You scroll down to the bottom, you see a place to put it in, and then you get a secret code to a hidden website page. I'll look at it right now. I always call it the secret page, but it's called something else there, so it throws people off the scent. Right, now I was traveling, so I just share with you that there are things you can do. And you may not believe it, but start small. Chunk it down. Start with surface clutter. Practice with surface clutter. Feel more confident in your abilities at the beginner level, and then go to intermediate. But even in intermediate, you still do the beginner things. Intermediate would be the stuff that you're stored. So start with the simple stuff and feel good about it. Feel good about getting better at it. Feel good about the fact that on the surface, your house will look and feel better. Then you go to the next level, which is stored clutter. That's behind doors and drawers. You use the same exact formulation of stuff to do on the surface as you do underneath with the stored, but that's when you actually are starting to tune in even more to your own stories. Do I want this? Do I not? Practice on that level. Get better at it and beginner. Those will help you to get to the third level, like a video game, I guess, which is sentimental clutter. Which sentimental clutter has very little to do with the object and everything to do with the story. There's objects and little stories, there's objects and kind of stories, and there's objects and big stories on those three different levels. And you are learning to swim in each one of those depths. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, and on fire for you. Thank you for saying I inspire you to help others, hopefully in my future, with their personal health issues to live longer. And I will say this, that is great. That is great. You working on yourself isn't a greedy experience. It is not selfish. You are now realizing that you can change what you're doing and help yourself. And when you do that, you will also be able to share that knowledge with others. That's where I am. I didn't try to help other people while I was in the muck myself. I was as lost as many people were. But I showed up and I showed up and I showed up and I got better and better and better, and I'm still learning. But I know enough now to be like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to wait till I'm perfect. Hello, Patty. I'm not going to wait till I'm perfect to start. I have a lot of information that I can help people with right now. The amount of information I have right now is more than I had back then. Notice how, Patty, you said earlier you could notice that they were just moving things around and not making decisions. I bet when you and I were working together, you were moving around a lot of stuff and you weren't making decisions. We have all been there. We have all done that. It's okay. When you move on from that and you realize there's something different, you will notice other people doing that. And you can offer up your energy and your time and your money to help them. Okay? Kelly, I'm glad you like my attitude. It's not always great. Sometimes I can be a crab like nobody's business. But I show up during this time to help, not to hurt. And to let you know that you can do stuff. Like, I'm not going to see you here on TikTok for a week. I'll probably be scrolling in the background and liking videos like we all do. But let me just leave you with this. You can do it. You can. And if there's a voice inside you that says, no, you can't, I would have words with that voice, but I also would just make it so small that they don't even know. Be stealth. Don't even wake up that backseat driving voice. Be so small and stealth that they don't even know that you're changing your life. Okay? Hey, damn it, Donna. I'm glad you think I'm a gift to all of you. A gift that keeps on giving. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give myself and you a break right now because we have an hour between now and the Destination Decluttered YouTube. So why don't we all go do something? Let's do some decluttering for crying. I'll do some decluttering in the next hour, and then we'll show up at Destination Decluttered on YouTube. We'll check in with each other. We'll do some good stuff, and then we'll have some gas in our tank to continue the day. All right? I'll see you guys later. Bye.